or whatever it was. Nip played Cash against Titan, and I believe, if memory serves me correctly, it was like 16-8 to Nip. They absolutely crushed Titan. It was so one-sided. Freiburg on B site was just constantly pushing. On the CT side, getting so many frags, it was easy for them. So off that basis, although Publicler may be a strong Cash side, Nip are going to be fancying both these maps. And again, just going back to what I said before, I'm going to be amazed if Publicler pick up either map here.
Yeah, for sure. There's always a slight advantage, though, to the underdogs, right? Like, Ninjas, they play on the biggest stage. They're studying Tier 1 teams, and Publiclir is, well, maybe just because, you know, the same nationality, these guys probably know each other. They might hit each other in 10-man, so maybe they know a bit, but look at this! Oz from CT Spawn taking down 2 just like that. Quicks gets 1 as well, and... well, I mean, if I don't even have to say it at this point, Publicler have some insane aimers, and the craziest story of all is Oz, Oz, and Dominate. Like, these guys are not, like, pro players. These are literally Quicks, who is in-game as Lincoln11. These are just his friends in real life. He's like, yo, we need subs for the team. Like, I've been making the joke, like, hashtag just Swedish things. Like, nowhere else could you find 2 guys like this in real life.
Man, Swedes are scary people as well. I've never felt so inferior than when I went to Sweden to cast DreamHack. Everyone's so beautiful. I'm just sat there like this English guy, so out of place. And it seems like that goes across with the aim as well. I mean, that's unbelievable. Forrest was the last player alive, considered as one of the best pistolers in the game right now, and he just got crushed. He got devastated. So that's a brilliant start from Publicler, and maybe the dream is real. Freiburg's been heavy tagged there in Palace as he pulls out that Blaze Desert Eagle. And that's going to keep him on the back foot for the next few moments here as Get Right's in mid. And he gets...
oh my gosh.
Zeit, what the actual hell was that? But he does get taken down anyway from Oz, so all things considered, it's a 1-4 trade.
Yeah, I like that. I like that spot that... I've been saying Zita, but who knows. That he was trying to get in, you know, using that smoke to get on top of that fence, but a bit risky. Getting right in behind him because, I mean, where else is he going to be but behind you? As... they might have done it. It's brought it to a one-on-one, and Ninja's on this, you know, force-up round here with the pistols with that armor. Bomb going down here for Exist. Exist now in this 1v1. Tech9 versus that M4. And he'll peek out, and Quicks will take him down, and for maybe yourself or the people watching that aren't quite, you know, familiar with Publiclir, Quicks or Lincoln11 here really is the star player of the team.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple of times before. He definitely looks to be a phenomenal up-and-coming young talent. And I'm sure he's going to be giving NIP a few troubles. That wasn't a terrible round from NIP. They did get 4 weapons away from Publicler, so if they can cause a bit more devastation in this round, it is going to hurt the Swedes. And NIP are going to be saving themselves here with just a couple of smokes thrown in the mix. So they're going to be maybe looking for the set piece onto A. That seems to be the case as they all move in towards Ramp and Palace.
Yeah, looking for a set play with the smokes and small upgrades to their pistols just to get the bomb down, get that money coming in so they can have a big 4th round. And hey, who knows? I mean, you hit your shots or Publicler misses theirs, you might find yourself this 3rd round anyways. Alu, the only one with armor, which is surprising. Maybe not wanting to op on the T side, not trying to save more money. They'll probably be sticking with 5 AKs to start things off, but not coming out quite yet. Maybe trying to... throw this set play as a fake. Now they're going to come through. That pop flash goes out, but they run straight out into the blender. And, you know, Ninjas in Pyjamas, will it blend? And the answer is yes.
Very, very comfortably as well, as it turns out. I think another reason why Ali went for that armor is he picked up 3 frags with the previous weapon. So he got quite a bit of money going in his direction, and now he's able to buy up again. So it's going to be full AKs picked up for him. And you've got a Molotov also on Freiburg, so I'm quite interested to see where he's going to throw that one in. Let's have a look where he's pushing. He's going to be going mid with Get Right, who's got the bomb. I do wonder if that thing's legit about, you know, Get Right taking over the reins as a shot caller, if that's going to free Exist up now to fully focus on his gameplay, and if he's going to really step up to the table and be one of those that carry NIP going forward.
Yeah, and the other side of that is, will it affect the Get Right? Will he start to slump a bit? I mean, generally the IGL is a little lower on the scoreboard. Will it affect his game sense while lurking? Will he continue to lurk? I mean, there's a ton of questions to be asked, and as we see, it's Exist now finding these entries on the A ramp, and he actually gets 2 of them. Forrest found Zita before that, but Quicks here on the stairs. Oh, turns, and Alu will get him in the back. and mid control still belonging to Nip. That's actually where the bomb is. They're trying to bring it in, dropping off the ladder, and that's actually Get Right with it coming through. He'll find Dominate. And, well, I mean, going for mid control, but the picks at A just worked out so well that, you know, Ninja's able just to frag out and find the first win there with the rifles. Yeah,
and Exist seemingly answering my question as to whether he's going to be able to, like, step up to the table now with 2 beautiful entries. And that gives NIP a bit of respite here. However, there is a full buy-up from Publiclir. They've got 3 FAMASs. They've got a few grenades to play with as well, and Kevlar across the board. No defuse kits, though, so if that bomb wants to get planted, things could get a bit hairy and a bit sketchy for them. There's the first pickup for Alu through Palace. He's looking for a second, but there is Quicks to answer back before Exist puts him down. And NIP keeps their advantage going on towards A. They have mid control once again, but they've lost 2 players in the process, and Publiclir are really making a go at this map.
Yeah, starting out really strong and able to have the rifle rounds after the loss, because in round 3, they didn't lose a single soul. So that was good for Publiclir's money. Let them get back-to-back rifles, even with the loss. And, well, they've got a chance still to win this round. No kits, though, and that might be... I mean, money was tight coming into round 5, so they did already skimp on head armor and still not able to afford these kits. I'm not sure if one of these 3 players that are down had one. Let's see if Aldo can get this shot onto Get Right. The FAMAS spray control is there. 40 seconds on the clock and Exist in a 1-on-2. A winnable one, though, as down at 8 HP. And well, we'll see Zita at 100 there in the connector. They've got a pretty good spot. I think I get this trade. Oh, that barrel is going to be spotted. That is so unfortunate. But if he shoots here and Exist, he's going to have to flick really, really quick. Oh no, and now that's just going to leave Awe. But Exist doesn't check it! Oh my gosh, such a heads-up play to get the barrel, grabs the bomb, wants to go B, thinking they're split up, but really, you know, Publiclir using the buddy system and off to a great start. 4-1 right now.
Exist will be kicking himself right now, Helium. I mean, I understand it's kind of a 50-50. If he peeks behind the corner there and was in, you know, window room looking across, he gets shot in the back in that direction. It's kind of a coin flip, but man, those are such frustrating rounds to lose. They are going to go for the force by Tech 9 CZ armor and also grenades, and that would suggest to me that we could potentially have an A push on our hands. There we go, Alu once again through Palace. The rest of the team are going to be throwing down the set piece, but look at all he pushes through. There's a small space in that smoke that he sprays into. Doesn't connect the dots to take a frag, and here comes the force through Molotov, but there is Orr standing tall. Gets himself 2 before getting dropped, and surely the damage has been done here for NIP, as Alu's just been killed as well. And now, Get Right with the M4 is unable to do anything. 5-1 for Publiclir. I did not see this start coming down.
Yeah, I mean, I felt they'd definitely be capable of getting rounds. I didn't think they'd be up 5-1, so, I mean, maybe we can look at it as commentators, maybe the commentators' curse to Nip. So far, the blessing to Publiclir. They've hit the ground running, that is absolutely for sure. And I know I put the stat of they've lost, you know, 4 series, but they've always put up a good fight. It's been close on a per-map basis. They just haven't been able to close some of them out.
I guess worrying thing as well for NIP is, did you say there's 2 replacements in today, Helium? For Publiclir?
Oh, for Publiclir? I mean, replacements, non-official members, yes, but it's been Oz and Dominate that have been showing up for a long time now, so
okay,
they're definitely used to playing as 5 for Publiclir.
Right, got ya. But still, NIP will be pretty disappointed with how things have started, because I said before, they forced port and they committed to the 6th round, and now they're on eco once again. They are definitely good enough to get some frags, and that's exactly what's happened, but they are still 1 player behind, and definitely outgunned as well, as Zita from the short will make short work of Forest, and now Exist and Freiburg all that remain. Freiburg's already on B site, and he has been for a while. He's waiting for the cavalry to arrive in the form of Exist, who just caught a flashbang to the forehead. And he's only on 10 HP, and I just don't fancy Nip's chances here at even getting the bomb plant. They are being surrounded, but Freiburg executing Zita down. There's Oz, though. And now to that man Exist. 10 HP to his name. Not for long. Dominate comes in through Kitchen. 6-1 your scoreline.
Yeah, and I should actually point out, Publiclir, I mean, coming in as sort of one of the middle of the pack or bottom of Pro League teams that you would expect going through this. They're 0-4 with 1 tie. They've pretty much played the best teams already, though. Like, that's who they've lost to. They've lost to VP, they've lost to the new very strong Mousesports, they lost to Titan, and they lost to Hellraisers, right? That's some of the stiffest competition that we've got. Maybe Navi and Gamers 2 is going to be the next hardest after NIP. So they started off with a very tough schedule. They've done all right on a per-map basis. They just haven't found the points, unfortunately. But I don't know. I've been impressed with them. And here on this rifle, it looks like NIP is finally striking back 4-on-3, but still potential here for the CTs.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this league, though. There's so many huge teams in it. And so Publiclir have the spotlight on them. They have the stage to cause a couple of upsets and really get their name on the map, as it were. And this round was looking pretty good for them up until the moment where Orr got himself picked off. But look at this, all NIP, very low HP. Forest on 1, Alu and Freiburg both floating around the 30s. Dominate still on 100 with a molly and a grenade at his disposal. So although it's a 3-on-2, the CTs definitely could lock this one down. 45 seconds, and NIP starting to push onto the site. Flashbang through, Ninja Spot Dominate is going to be occupying. He jumps on top of the box, maybe a bit too early. No, he does get the pick off onto Alu. And from this place, he could actually go one better on towards Forest, who is now going into sandwich.
Jumps to the other side.
There and does get the kill finally. I can't believe that NIP could potentially win this round now from this. I thought when it went to 2-on-2, this was going to be easy, but maybe I spoke too soon because the 22 HP Zitta is trying to make a move. He drops down and gets the kill onto Forest, and it's going to give Publiclir the 7-1 lead.
Yo, that pop flash that Zitta used was awesome. Throwing it against the angle as he was running up the stairs, it just bounced straight up, and you know, it gave him a good opportunity to check sandwich that he checked first, and then, you know, hopping down off that over top the head of that last NIP player. I mean, in that situation where you're so close like that, and the player's coming from above you, it can come down to your sensitivity. Like, I know I use a really low sensitivity, and like, I can never win in a situation where the player kind of just jumps down on top of me. Zitta may be a bit higher or just had a strong sense of where he was, but quite the 1v1 there.
Man, this was NIP's choice of map. This is a map that I definitely, and I think you mentioned this as well, Helium, expected NIP to walk away with, but Publiclir, they are standing tall, and they are getting frags once again. 3 players left for NIP. Forest does retort back onto Orr, but there's Oz from Connector. Another player there in the smoke. That's going to be Exist, and his teammate Forest is down to 46 HP with the bomb in hand. So NIP have their work cut out for them once again, have plenty of time to play with. Exist has spotted the barrel and does get the kill afterwards, but there's still a CD player on there, and it is Dominate. He's been performing pretty damn well so far. The bomb is snaking its way towards B, so Exist running interference, and he does keep 2 CTs guessing. However, I think Zitta has heard this one out, and he's going to call it to the rest of his team. He's up on the box and gets the kill. Publiclir, they're 8-1 ahead, and that was another buyout round from NIP.
I think the one thing I've taken away from this series already is if you're going to play Connector as a CT, do not use the A1S. Because it is very easy to spot the barrel. We've seen quite a few players just taken out because they thought they were hidden but were completely exposing themselves. Or maybe take that silencer off if you're going to go in there. I don't know. But that was a good hold, and actually, like, I don't know if he meant to shoot. He heard, I believe it was Freiburg running into that bomb site, and he just shot his silenced M4 once. And as a terrorist, you just have no idea where that shot came from, and suddenly he was just looking around everywhere, looking cat, looking bench, just trying to find where that shot came from, and turns out it was right next to him in the site.
Yeah. And if that was a tactic, by the way, from Publiclir, that's genius. Because it is so hard to hear where that's from, it's so hard to figure out where. And there's so many positions you're probably not expecting to be on top of that box. It's quite an unorthodox place. Quicks, meanwhile, as I'm speaking, gets himself one. There's Oz as well. Alu through Palace, he's been here time and time again, maybe a bit too predictable. He falls short and he's put 6 foot under. And now NIP, they're just being eviscerated. It's all on Exist. He gets picked off from Quicks, who takes down 3 players in that round. 9-1 for Publiclir. What a dream start this has been. And you look at their score as well, by the way, Helium. 4 players are over 10 frags. Everybody is pulling their weight.
Yeah, everyone is really neck and neck. And the man that, you know, is down there at 6 and 5, Zitta, well, he's a big reason they didn't drop around and maybe give some momentum because he had that 1v1, so he's been vitally important to the team. And NIP, I don't know, like, really not knowing what to expect from Publiclir, or the changes in perhaps in-game leadership have really affected them. They were also a little bit late showing up today, so maybe some external circumstances, but in no way do I want to take away from Publiclir. They've been looking exceptional.
The thing is, if you knew nothing about Counter-Strike, or at least the teams that were taking part here, you would think that Publiclir were like the the 87-0 team. You think that they were the team with all of the history behind them and all the lands and all the wins, because they have been the better team here on Mirage. As I'm speaking, though, NIP have picked themselves up 3 frags, but there's all with the quick-fire double of his own and brings it right back into contention. It's the 2-on-2 tag team partnerships here. The bomb's been planted. NIP should still win from this position, but Publiclir, from a 4v2 back to a 2-on-2, this is very doable from them.
Oh, and they just lit Forrest up, so that HP on this 2-on-2 just evened out. Oh, he's going to get a leg shot, and then he'll walk tagged right into the crosshair of Get Right. And that should be the second round here for the Ninjas. Forrest hits another nice op shot. Never counts out an opper, even if they're at 1 HP. Lesson to be learned there. And so there they go. The first rifle round went over to Nip. And initially, back in round 4, I'm like, uh-oh, like, Publiclir's not going to be able to win these rifle rounds. They proved me wrong by winning 6 in a row. And not until just there in round 11 do the Ninjas finally strike back. But CT economy's so good, another rifle round coming out even after that loss.
Yeah. They are able to buy back up again. They're going to have no AWP on their side and bare bones grenades on Zita, but still, M4s are definitely more than good enough for them, especially with the performance they've been providing us with thus far. Forrest with the AWP over Alu on the T side. This is something you do see sometimes from them. Like to switch it up. On Cash, Forrest was AWPing as well on CT side. So that's going to give Alu more of reins to play interference, the lurker kind of roll through Palace, which he's been doing time and time again. Here comes the push, though. CT's finalized giving up mid. Forrest does connect the dots down to Oz, who did see him on short for a couple seconds. Maybe a bit disappointed he wasn't able to get the kill for his team. And now NIP, with a player advantage, are looking to go into cruise control, but no one checks Shadow, and Dominate makes them pay. Get Right isn't connected, pulls out the grenade just a bit too late, is going to survive and get the kill, really had no right to do so, and now it's all on Zita from window. There's the first, he's going to have to rinse repeat 3 more times, and he gets the second as well.
And Publiclir also able to bring the rounds back with some flashy aim. I mean, on the last round, brought it back to a 2-on-2. Zita brought it back into maybe the realm of possibility, got forced to 5, found those 2 kills. He is spotted, though, coming out CT, and got 2 crosshairs on him, but Zita hits the 4th shot. That was the player that was low. Freiburg over here on Tetris, still at 100 HP. And Zita's got to check everything. He'll strafe out into Freiburg's crosshair, and that'll be that. 2 in a row now for Ninjas, and that should be enough to push Publiclir onto an eco round.
Yeah, Zita had a general idea where Freiburg probably would be. I think he probably assumed ramp more so than Tetris, but Freiburg, fantastic aim, straight to the forehead. And now Publiclir are in an eco with CZs, the P250 alongside a USP. So are they going to try a quick push in? Looks like that's going to be the case through Palace. 3 players going through that. Unbeknownst to them, though, nobody from NIP is interested. And they are going to be occupying mid instead. So quickly, this 3-man team just backs away onto A, calls the information out to the rest of the squad, and tries to converge on towards mid, which is where NIP are currently residing. Ali with the opening pick. And you can see already that Exist is on to B, and it's completely there.
And they've got Zita pinned on Cat. He'll then be brought down by Freiburg, so that'll be the catwalk to B, completely open up, dominate. And Oz still rotating over. Now he gets into the site along with who Oz gets there just in time to see him gone down, but they line up to the CZ. That was 6 bullets and 2 kills. He almost turned the CZ into a 3-kill gun, when in reality it's usually thought of as just a 1-kill gun. That was almost, I mean, already was pretty next level. That was almost giving them the round back, though.
Yeah, but that actually is pretty significant, because there's still 2 more rounds to play, this and 1 more. And that was a full eco from Publiclir, and they got 3 weapons from that. So if NIP were to lose this round, they may have to go with a few less grenades, and maybe even a couple of upgraded pistols, which may not sound like much, but it can make all the difference in these close rounds. And Publiclir have already shown that with these M4s, they can do work. Smoke through into window. And this is the round where NIP go back to their drawing board, and they go back to A site once again. Alu's got so much information here, peeking out, gets the kill. No, he doesn't get the kill onto Orr. I would have bet my house on him getting that frag, Helium, but he gets dropped.
You would have lost your Palace.
I would.
As Alu couldn't quite get the kill from that location. But Exist will find that trade in as he throws the touchdown pass. So 4-on-3 now for the Ninjas. They've rallied, from 9-1 to bring back 9-4. They look sure enough to get this round as well, even with Alu going down first. Quick, though, in a backstep position, was not able to get more than 1. Forrest is right there with the op to gun him down and dominate alone. In CD spawn, 9 HP coming up. Maybe trying to do one more frag here. He does get it, finds it onto Exist. He's actually still alive. Get right, though. We've seen his reflexes when he holds these angles. They're pretty insane, and he'll get another one there.
Yeah, nicely done from NIP as well. They've won 4 in a row. It was 9-1 against them, and now 9-5. They can pick up the 6th round. All things considered, that's a pretty solid half from NIP going on to CT for themselves. So it looked a bit bleak at some points, Helium, but I think NIP, they have done enough.
At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no surprise. I mean, the veterans, right? Able to bring it back to a doable half, even if it does go 10-5. But we have a forceful round. I got 2 FAMAS, a Scout, MP7, and a CZ there on Zeta. So it'll be a tough one for him.
Oh, for sure. They do need to get these first couple kills, and it's Exist who gets a double spray down. Again, from identical positions when he got the last 2 entry frags going back 5 or so rounds ago. Publiclir are returning with a couple kills of their own, and it's 4 in a row, actually. What the heck? Was that a 2v5 to a 2v1?
That was just... Lincoln and Oz just became one person as they moved out from underpass and catwalk to control middle. They were just peaking at like the perfect times. The ninjas looking in all the wrong places for the person that was actually shooting at them, and they just got blended. And now we can see there through the X-ray that about to walk straight in, or rather run out with a nade into Quicks, and they will get it 10-5, somehow making that last round happen, despite being, you know, way underfunded.
And they were outmanned at one point as well, but seemingly never outgunned. So that was a fantastic round from them. Very, I've got to say, unorthodox, uncharacteristic from NIP to lose a 5-on-2. Normally you'd say, okay, this round's good as done, right? We're going 9-6 at halftime. NIP are now going to be in a fairly stable position. 10-5 is still not the end of the world for CTs going forward. We know that NIP can do a fantastic job on CT, but Publiclir are going to be very happy with this start. There's no two questions about it, in my opinion.
I mean, going into this, Publiclir should have been happy with 10 rounds, and they got that all in the first half at this point. And I think it's already been proven that Oz is an absolute god when it comes to pistols. I mean, based on his USPs there over in the A site on that very first pistol round. So maybe they can replicate that early success and get out to a quick 13, or will it be Ninjas to say, hey, stop, we're not messing around anymore, like, we got this. We'll find out soon, because they're running straight into Get Right.
They are, and he is going to put bullets to faces. Lovely double. And the bomb's been dropped as well. It has been picked up, however, from Quicks, but the rest of Publiclir are not going to let this round go without a fight. They do manage to claw themselves back a couple kills. Make that 3, actually. And I'm getting deja vu from that last round, where suddenly NIP in all sorts of trouble. Freiburg gets 1. Dominate will be disappointed he didn't inflict more damage from that position, I've got to say. But still, it's a 2-on-1, and Quicks has seen where Freiburg is.
He might not want to fight this. He does get some really good damage in, and okay, All was there on the catwalk to kind of support that, make it a 2-on-1. But I mean, even really before that, Quicks was able to take that quick 1v1 over into the site. So bomb plant as well as the round win, big cash flow for Publiclir, and they'll actually not go for a single rifle. The slightly better at long range P90s, Zeta and Dominate, and then, you know, MAC-10s, MP7s coming out for the rest of the crew.
So in one of those rounds, though, Helium, like, Get Right got the opening 2 frags, and they still lost the round.
Insane. Dominate
is just
was a
crazy.
Big factor.
Yeah.
Some 2 nice frags there in middle.
Ooh, that grenade is going to do so much damage to Exist, and a snowstorm descends on him. Cannot see anything. Forrest, though, is on the boost, gets 1. He's going to get spotted from behind, so a brief moment of brilliance from NIP has been well and truly crushed. And Publiclir take it in style, only losing 1 player. This is phenomenal play from them. They have looked very, very solid.
And they'll scoop that P90 back up. It looks like Zeta and Dominate are the P90 users here. Oz preserved the P90, threw it right back, and he upgrades to the rifle, so he's the 1 AK-47 on this run for Publiclir. And it should be, you know, the easy one, not a dime spent from the ninjas. And they'll just try to gamble on a stack here. Maybe put quite a few players under that porch, something unexpected. And yeah, 2 by the porch, 2 in the site, 1 in connector here for ninjas. Ooh. And the dinks come out.
They do, but Quicks escapes. He doesn't go down. He's going to call it. There's at least 2 or 3 players on A, and you can see very quickly Publiclir are like, cool, we got the free plant on B, let's go for it. And they're going to get this plant, and now it's all up to NIP to rotate. And look at Quicks, he comes back for seconds. He can smell blood in the water. And he is going to be coming round the back of them and trying to cause as much devastation as possible. And he's about to push into connector. Forrest may not be long for this world. Turns around just to see the MP7 at work. Gets 2 kills and could be more than that. They line up for him, but he gets 4. And suddenly Get Right's all that remains. He is going to put down Quick, so no ace for you today. But still, this is 13-5 to Publiclir against NIP. And Get Right's been dropped, so not even going to save that MP7 going forward.
He peeked out with 9 bullets, and I mean, no armor there to protect you. The 9 bullets to spray down those 2 guys that were, so close, really trying to get a trade frag there, being, right next to each other, but instead they just get gunned down, and Lincoln finds, I mean, not only 4 kills, but that is just so much money.
Oh yeah,
that's $2,400 coming in off those 4 kills right there.
And look at them, they've got all the weapons they could ask for, and they've still got players on nearly 6k. So they are good to go going through to this next round as well, whatever happens here. Whereas NIP, they are very low on grenades. They've got themselves lots of weapons in there as Forrest from short to break the deadlock onto Oz. But they're going to have to go a few better than this. And they're going to have to get some momentum on the board as well, because NIP are looking shaky.
Yeah, and I mean, they got the man advantage, but that hasn't mattered in the last few rounds. Publiclir just seems to get it right back. Freiburg, though, going to get another one here. Or his first, rather, excuse me. Forrest got his off of the catwalk, kind of using that smoke. But dominated a good position with the P90. Still does get 1. Brings in that kill that Oz couldn't quite complete. Zita, though, opening up A ramp now, moving out. Alu, close. We'll find that frag immediately, despite being flashed. And now the bomb over there on Tetris in a 1-on-3. It's Awe.
Yeah, I've seen him pull off some pretty sick frags so far. But 38 seconds left on the timer. Alu peeks towards ramp. And that is a gift wrap frag to Orr. Get Right, moving into position through window. Orr is going to be looking for that plant. And here we go. It's going to be put down. Is he going to get sprayed through the boxes? No, not just yet. Just losing 5 HP in this round thus far. Has the flashbang. Jumps up. Gives a lot of himself away. I can see what he was going for, but the execution just wasn't there. They're going to go ahead and run around, pick up the weapons they're looking for, and then defuse that bomb. So NIP, they do get the 2 rounds in a row finally.
Did he try to go for the right click flash up in the air with a bit of a hop thing, or I was on Nip's perspective. Did you actually see?
Yeah, I think he was trying to quickly bank the grenade off the wall to get the pop flash, and then maybe peek. And also correction, they haven't got 2 rounds in a row. That's the first round they've got on the CT side. I'm curious to see if they're going to buy an AWP and drop it to Alu. I believe I did see an AWP purchase there. Who's going to pick it up for them?
I mean, you would only assume it's Alu, unless they're really trying to shake things up over there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Alu. So he will be, more than likely, peeking ramp and then going to connector. This is what he is tried and tested for on this side, and that's exactly what happens. Peeks towards mid, Dominate just about scurries away in the nick of time, and NIP have got no information. This is what I love about watching Alu play on CT side. The guy peeks everything. He's so unpredictable to play against.
Yeah, and basically him alone has got the mid control. I mean, no one was actually there to really even fight him for it, but still not scared to peek it regardless. And looks like we will see the set play come out. Quicks is watching the push of any CTs looking to get aggressive, and we might actually still spot one on top of stairs before the smokes even come out. But there they go. Flash as well. And it'll be Exist, Freiburg, and Alu trying to hold on. Alu already missing his first op shot. Might have been partially blind or smoked at the point. But Dominate and Oz opening up this site, as they've actually done such a good job on a lot of the rounds finding the opening picks. Wow. And the bomb to go down. 3-on-3 now. It's going to be retake here for NIP.
That's exactly what Publiclir were looking for. They have lost the first one as Dominate trying to push maybe too aggressively towards jungle. You got Zita who's on firebox, and nice shot from Alu coming in for his second. Goes to the wall bang. Not going to happen, but there's Forrest with the spray down. Zita somehow gets 1 kill from this position. He's being jump shotted, and finally they do put him down to pick up this round. But again, Publiclir, even when they're losing rounds, they're taking it right down to the last few players.
Yeah, and they got the bomb down there again, but losing 2 in a row means they are going to have... They really don't have to save unless they want to maybe try to work with Quicks having an op. It looks like they'll take a half-eye round here. Just so that they know they're going to have... they'll have an okay shot on this round 21, but will still have the rifles available to them in round 22. So, smart play here for Publiclir.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. They've got a lot of round buffers, so there's no point throwing that away with a janky force buy, as it were. But they are going to be going in onto the site. Flashbangs are plenty. Get Right has to pull himself back, throwing the smoke to screen away off of that site. And now he comes back in and he delivers fatal blows to both Dominate and Oz. He's looking for a third, but Alu comes in to take it from under him. And Forrest seals the deal. So very confident round from NIP. And that's just what the doctor ordered for them. So Publicler, however, will be able to buy up now with AKs and lots of grenades.
Yeah, everyone, I mean, Get Right, I think he heard the roar of the Tech 9s, and immediately he dropped that defensive smoke, went to a fallback position, and then catch players lining up as they were trying to waterfall their way out of the apartments. So good hold there in the B site, of course. They don't lose a single person, and I mean, the Tech 9s can be dangerous, so that does still mean a bit. But pushing that catwalk smoke down and peeking through it is Publicler. They'll find an opening onto Forest, but Alu now with the op trying to lock things down. Got 2 players on the right side of mid, now just 1 as he will silence Aw. And it looks like it will be Oz to move back. Quicks, though, through the scaffolding there, the porch. Get its 1 onto Freiberg, and then quickly going to take down Exist. But Get Right now from the catwalk. He's in a 1-on-2, however.
What a shot that was. And again, Publicler find themselves in a 1v2. This is where experience is really going to pay off. Get Right has been around the block multiple times. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and there's the first kill.
Got the t-shirt.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Oz at this stage, because you know who he is up against, right? The guy who's been to LAN events, got these clutches in finals and all sorts of craziness. And Get Right's pushing down into ramp against him and does get the kill. And that was a huge one for NIP. If they lost that, they may have to eco up a couple of weapons or maybe a few grenades here and there. And instead, Public look like it's going to be them that go on to the eco. Or are they going to force buy? They could potentially afford one.
Might see Tech 9 armor again, yeah. Just buy down to 2K and they'll be getting in, well, yeah, they're going to be getting 3,400 next round, so they'll be able to even have ops if they want off of this sort of a little bit of a buy-in here with the pistols and armor, because they're about to hit max bonus. It's been 4 in a row so far for the Ninjas.
Yeah.
This will obviously make it 5 for those that suffer at simple math, like myself. Oh, Thor is going to get Zeta as he's jumping out of the window, and another one. So actually, the Ninja's pulling out the double op setup and trying to cross into bench. Forrest is going to lock it down there, so kind of playing his buddy's spot. Forrest will lock it down instead of Get Right.
Wow, that was a lovely shot. I mean, it was an eco, so I can't really get carried away about that round. You're expecting Nick
but
to
it's an
clean
op,
that one.
right?
But it's still a beautiful shot from out the window. It was a fantastic flick. But Public back onto AK-47s, and this is NIP are starting to utilize this combo a whole lot more as well. The double op setup on CT sides of Mirage on places like Cache as well. Forest is more than capable of running with that AWP and just decimating teams, as we just saw there. So now the alarm bells will begin to ring for Publicler. It's like, okay, now it's getting close. We were on 13-7 a few moments ago. Now it's 13-10. They're breathing right down our necks. We have to try and do something. Exist gets the smoke shot onto Ore, and that is definitely going to derail the juggernaut that is Publicler.
Yeah, you mentioned it's close, and getting spammed down through the smoke to give it that first kill is not a good way to stay on track. But what do you know? Publicler, again, bringing it back to a 3-on-3. They control that A site, still have that smoke in CT. No one really covering the plant, though, which is probably why Dominic goes for a quick fake. So the bomb hasn't gone down yet. Are they going to try to just stay hidden here and hope Ninjas are like, oh, must be B, and they're just going to depart? We'll see. No, Oz actually peeking into CT. He finds Get Right. And now Forrest with the op. He better get to decimating because he's getting lurked on really hard. And Oz is just finding all these entries. And Zid is there right behind him. And I mean, generally, you get into the bomb site, you're like, plant, plant, plant. Like, what are they doing? This is a mistake. But I mean, they knew they had plenty of time on the clock. Zidda was in a great position to lurk. And Oz just hitting his shots. This guy is a monster. 23 frags right now. Only his buddy Quicks getting him by 1. They're at 24 frags.
It's not often that you see at this stage of a map that 3 people are over 20 kills. 24, 23, 20, that's really impressive. And it's not like anyone from Publicler is around the 10 frag mark like Freiberg is. 16 for Ore and 14 for Zitta. So this is just fantastic play from Publicler at this point. They've got themselves an AWP on Quick, still a double AWP set up for NIP. And they have definitely dug deep into their back pocket to rummage together and get this fly up in their favour. And look at this, it's just an exchange of Molotovs and grenades.
Molly off the back of a teammate. That was actually a terrorist Molly that fell in the connector.
Still get the kill, though.
I mean, that's Oz, apparently, for you. Let's see if they are going to be able to sniff out Get Right, if they can just smell his lurkiness. Oh, Alu hits an insane shot there onto Oz. So finally, you know, setting him in the corner, make him cool down a little bit because he's been on fire.
definitely trying to turn on the sprinklers. Forest
Oh,
is going to
nice
pick
pop
the
flash.
beautiful pop flash, but they don't get any more kills. They did heavily tag up Link, or Quicks, as I should say. He's now going to back on away with the AWP. 40 seconds to go. Zeta does come back with a kill, so that's pretty significant. Exist should get this one. There we go. Puts him down. Almost point-blank range. And Publiclir, with 30 seconds, are opting for an A push. But look at this. Alu's spidey senses are tingling, and he's already there to fend this one off.
Yep, and Zeta trying to replicate his sneakiness from the last round, but, you know, a man down on the T side, not going to have as much control. So instead, he gets shot in the back. And that'll be 11 now for the Ninjas. Still 3 away from tying it up. And, I mean, Publiclir, obviously they've shown, even on the Rifles full-strength rounds, they're capable of getting one. And that means it could very likely go to OT, and still somewhat likely that Publiclir, I mean, even win the map. Almost more likely than the Ninjas even bringing it back. But we'll see another eco here for Publiclir. So expect Ninjas to start another step to close the gap.
And they are going for the all-out rush, the YOLO rush, and, well, it's easy peasy for Get Right, who just battens down the hatches. There's 3. The Master of Spray shows up once again. The player to his left on benches, and it will be the play that ends his life. It was all. And any frag right now is pretty significant. They get 2 in that eco. They were hoping for a 3rd and very nearly got it, but still 14-12. And what I was going to say before, Helium, is these are the moments where that experience, where the veterancy really starts to show. Because Publiclir, yes, I'm sure they've been in these positions against maybe lower tier teams. How often they've been here against the likes of NIP? Are they going to be resilient enough? Are they going to have it in them to fight to the bitter end? Because a lot of teams can get close to the finish line, but they can never quite pass it against these tier teams.
Yeah, and even some of the better teams that we know of have difficulty closing out maps sometimes. At least in the NA scene, but I'll refrain from naming. Any NA fans out there can probably guess. As we've got a set play here from Publiclir looking onto that A site. Molotov from Quicks, gonna try to get them anyone out of the porch. No one actually there, and with the smoke coverage, it's Dominate moving in close. He's gonna find Freiburg initially, bringing him down, and rough stuff for Freiburg. And those smokes still fresh now, and the bomb going to go down. It's a 4-on-5 retake here for the Ninjas. Exist, though, going to get his op shot in there. Alu trying to come over the ticket booth with his, and really only one spot to watch. Oz was so concerned they were going to push through the smoke, but Oz will find the trade out. And another one here from the sandwich. And now it's just up to Get Right in a 1v3, and Oz is going to get another. So it's a big 3K for him on the round, and I believe it was Dominate that found that initial entry, and that'll put it Publiclir match point up against the juggernaut that is the Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Not just 1 map point either, but 3. Best case scenario right now for NIP is overtime. Yeah. And they're going to have a Mag 7 and a 5-7. This is, oh boy, this is not good news right now for NIP fans. And Publiclir, they have looked fantastic, taking nothing away from them. Yes, NIP may not have shown up entirely, but they have picked up the first kill. Publiclir, there's Forrest, and he catches a grenade to the forehead. What a start from Publiclir. And there's me saying, you know, are they going to have the fight in them to finish this match off? The next round, they just go for an all-out rush. And now they're looking good. They're looking poised to strike. Get Right, though, that Mag 7 is going to bring it back to equality. And Quicks is on 20 HP. So, NIP, they've got a chance here. But Publiclir, surely, if they just push together, they should have this round. Or maybe not.
Yeah, Exist. Finding a kill there, giving them man disadvantage in the 5-7 at close range. Freiburg reminding us all how strong it is as he'll bring down Awe and Dominate now in a 1-on-3. He's going to start by getting Get Right, but Exist is there to find the trade, and Ninjas now only 2 away and will have, let's see, still pretty rough on money, but since they saved 2 of those guns, or won the round and obviously got those 2 guns, they can drop here, but that'll tax their money quite a bit. Not that it matters, 1 round and they're out of it.
Yeah, and I think that's where the experience starts to show through as well. What I've liked from Publiclir when they started to exchange frags, I think they were a player up, it was like a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3, is group together and then push, because they must have known that NIP had a couple weak weapons, a 5-7 or a Mag 7, something like that. Get Right did shoot it off beforehand. Instead, they kind of split up and went for a split and pick kind of combo, and it just didn't pay off for them. And now it's the meat grinder once again. It is an eco. You're expecting this to come in from them. They do lose 1 player. And Quicks is put down, so 15-14, and NIP just have to go 1 more to take it into overtime.
Yep, a lot of nervous people right now, and probably very excited 4% of those people that did place their bets onto Publiclir. Yes, this is only map 1, but I mean, if they take this, you're guaranteed a shot at a massive return, or at least here, you know, you can get no longer a risk for yourself if Publicler take this map. So let's see if they can do it. It's been quite a ride thus far. Ninja's bringing it back with some big streaks here in the CT side. And once again, Exist going to start things off with a headshot onto Quicks, but Alway right back at him. He takes down Alu. And then Dominate to get Forrest. And now you see Exist about to peek on his lonesome without a position to get a trade. And that kind of just falls apart. A bit sloppy there from the Ninjas.
It was 3 consecutive peaks that cost NIP lives.
Yeah.
That is so uncharacteristic of them. They're normally super disciplined. If they're in these kind of situations, they're like, okay, let's dig in deep, force the T's to come to us. They lose 3 players. It's about to become 4. And Publicler are on the point here of winning the first map, Mirage, which was NIP's choice of map, by the way. And they'll be going through to cash potentially 16-14, unless Get Right can pull off something miraculous.
He's got the bullets to do it. He uses 25 of them there to bring down Zitta and somehow pulls in the long-range one on to Dominate, so there is a chance. Probably higher than 4% that he wins this, but not going to be the case. Publicler will take map 1, 16-14.
I'm dumbfounded.
You've heard it here, guys.
Do not adjust your monitors or your headphones. You heard that correctly. 16-14. Publicler win the first map against NIP, and now we move on to their choice of map, which is Cash, and then we have already seen them win once in the CEVO Pro League. Oh man, could we have a huge upset coming, Helium? I can feel it.
I mean, already, right? I mean, look at the Ninjas. They're coming into this 5-0 in their series, which means they've won 10 maps consecutively here in Season 7, and that's the first one they've dropped. That's the first point that was on the table that NIP wasn't able to, scoop up. And, of course, Publicler is way down there. They have had a very tough schedule playing most of the best teams in the league right off the bat. So they'll be on the long road back playing some of the lesser teams. But even in that case, like Publicler played Existence and they tied. And they lost Mirage against Existence, but were able to win here against NIP. They had dominated on Cash against Existence. That's their 1 point so far. And can they do it again? Can they make 4% of those people the happiest people in the world on this day?
There's going to be a lot of unhappy people as well, though, by the way.
Yeah.
96% of people.
I like to focus on the happiness
yeah.
that 4% of the people are going to have.
I think you said they lost to Existence, 16-6 on Mirage? Is that correct?
Yeah, they were stomps both ways. It was, actually pull it back up here. Let's see. Publicler took Cash 16-7 against Existence, and they lost Mirage 16-6. So 10-round deficit there.
Man, that's brutal. NIP, they look shaky. They really did.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll be able to turn it around here going into Cash. But let's take a quick break, guys. Rejuvenate ourselves, go grab a snack, get some water. And when we return here on MLG TV, it'll be myself, Helium, and my new friend Metuz returning. And you can follow us on Twitter. I think it's going to be at the top right now since we don't have cameras on today. I'm at Helium Brella, and are you at Metuz? I know I just followed you, but I didn't actually pay attention to what it was.
At Metuz TV, so just a TV.
At Metuz TV. All right, guys. Feel free to hit us up with the tweets, and we'll be right back.